Is up everyone, Artem here, and as you can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be about how goals make gains, right? And you can make more gains by setting good goals, alright? So in the course of this video, we're going to trying to cover a few different things related to that, which is why that is, why do you need to set goals to be able to achieve your gains more optimally or faster, right? And how can you actually contribute to your progress by breaking those goals down, and how would you actually do that? And then what kind of goals should you set, and what do you need to do to get started? What makes it easier to get started when it comes to goal setting, to chunk things down to ultimately achieve the goals that really matter to you, right? Okay, so think of this as like a nice little analogy. For me, it makes it really easy to understand things through an analogy or even to explain something. When you're trying to go somewhere, right? So you're going to do a road trip, right? You put in a destination to your GPS nowadays, right? So maybe I want to go to the West Coast, I want to go to Los Angeles, and I'll put in, okay, I want to go to LA, Venice Beach, and it's going to give me a nice little map and step-by-step directions to get there, and it'll tell me how long to get there, and ultimately I'll follow these steps and get to my destination. Very rarely do you have someone say, hey, I just want to go west. Right? I know maybe Los Angeles is west. I'm not sure if I want to go to LA, maybe I want to go to Seattle, San Francisco. I'm just going to go west, right? And you start driving, you can guess which one's going to take longer. And if you go west, maybe since you don't have a plan, you don't know step by step what's going to happen, what's the agenda, you may make it, so West Coast that's nowhere near to any of the destinations that you kind of had in mind, right? You might be somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Or what if the ultimate destination that you really wanted but never really verbalized or wrote down or told anyone was you wanted to make it to Hawaii, but you just went as far west as you thought you could go, and that's it. Or what I even see with some people is like, okay, I just want to go west. As long as I'm going west, I'm probably eventually going to make it to LA, or I'll eventually make it to Seattle, or I'll eventually make it to Hawaii. And they'll go like 10 miles west, and that'll be it. The car broke down, or they found something that they thought was really cool, like, whoa, this is an amazing place. Why would I ever want to leave? And that's it. Okay, so this can happen with your goals. If you're not specific with them, if you're not intentional with them, you can kind of waddle your way towards your goals, but you could either be selling yourself short in terms of only going just, a few feet or a few miles down the road, or getting to a city that ultimately isn't as cool as Los Angeles or Seattle or whatever kind of place you wanted to go. Or even you set a goal that's very vague, it takes you a long time to get there, and you don't realize you could have gone even further west. You could have went, all the way to Hawaii or the Philippines or some really cool, like Singapore, someplace really far west, right? So same thing with your goals. You want to set goals to be specific, and you want to try to break them down with kind of steps to get there, right? And kind of have time frames around them. So this is kind of how it's contributed to my own progress and my own gains, my own journey. Just to give you an example, I don't know who told me this or how I learned it, but since the very beginning of my journey when it came to making a body transformation, I've had goals. And I would set them usually 3 months, 6 months, or a year. I'd kind of time cap it. I'm like, hey, I want to gain 20 pounds. Or I want to increase my bench by a certain amount. And by setting those goals and making them very specific, I would then break them down to what kind of actions do I need to take on a daily basis to get to where I ultimately want to go. So, simple example, comparison when it comes to weight loss or fitness is some people say, I just want to lose weight, or I just want to gain weight, right? And they're not really thinking about the steps that they need to do on a weekly or daily basis versus, how many calories, would I need on a daily basis? Well, how would you figure that out? Okay, well, I want to gain, 5 pounds or lose 10 pounds over the course of a year, right? And then, so that means like something like a pound a month, right? I'm just throwing numbers out there. To lose a pound a month, then you realize, oh, I need to be like maybe a 200 calorie deficiency per day. So what can I do on my daily diet that would help me stay 200 calories under maintenance? Or you want to get stronger, right? So you want to increase your bench by 50 pounds in a year. So to be able to make that kind of progress, it's like, okay, well, if I want to get to a 225 bench, I need to hit 185 pounds for 5 reps. Currently, I can only do 155 pounds for 5 reps. So you realize, okay, in a few months, I should be hitting 165 for 5. And ultimately, by end of the year, if I can hit 185 for 5, or I'm really close to that, that should get me to my ultimate goal of a 225 bench. So you see where I'm going here is you can't just vaguely want something, right? And just kind of waddle in that direction. You want to be specific. You want to set time for it. And then you want to break it down into actionable things you can do on a daily basis, right? So you may ask, well, what kind of goals? I have ideas on goals I want to have, and people have all kinds of different goals, not just for fitness, not just for career, it could be spiritual, like for relationship based, like all kinds of different goals. And the thing is, if you don't have a history of knocking things out, of completing goals, or this is really new to you, I recommend start small. Start something very easy, break it down, and accomplish it. Because what that's done for me is, at a young age, I realized, hey, I'm knocking things out, I'm accomplishing my goals, and that gave me confidence in myself to then set bigger goals. And when you set bigger goals, it takes that much more planning and diligence to break it down into smaller goals that lead up to the bigger goal, right? And ultimately, you can accomplish a lot of those smaller goals by setting up good habits in your day-to-day, or making sure you just do the little things, right, on a regular basis. So again, start small, but as you continue to grow, then you can start setting really big goals. Like, I want to make $1 million, or I want to, go pro for physique, right, in a physique competition. Things like really big goals like that. It won't be as scary and pie in the sky for you because you've already shown to yourself, right, and practice the muscle of setting a goal, writing it down, actually writing that down, breaking it down, taking the time to plan it out, and then actually following through on your word and your commitment that you're made to yourself, and reviewing it on a regular basis, what your written goals are and what you're doing to accomplish them. That continues to snowball. Like your confidence will grow, that muscle will grow, literally and figuratively, and you're going to be a goal achieving machine, and that's going to end up making a lot of gains for you. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I didn't want to make it too long, so start small if this is new to you, and if you have some really big goals out there, break them down into smaller ones, and please comment down below if you have any feedback or questions on what I'm talking about today. But I want to see everyone out there achieve the things that they're trying to achieve, and sometimes it's not very helpful to just say, oh, well, I just want to be rich. Make it concrete, make it specific, and attack it every single day, and review what you've done and what you're doing. And yes, that is everything for today. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe, hit the little bell notification thing if you want to be notified when my videos are coming out. And I'm going to be trying to make more content on a regular basis every 2 weeks for now. And again, if you comment within the first 48 hours of me posting this, I will be responding to every single comment. So get down there in the comments, thumbs up, hit the bell, subscribe if you haven't, and you have a blessed holidays, weekend, evening, morning, wherever you may be.